Alright, hello imaginary internet friends, I'm Mild Kratz. Welcome back to my summer car. Sorry I'm a little bit late tonight. I was doing some different things. Open mic stand-up comedy went as expected. It's, fine. But yeah, excited to get back to this. Stand-up comedy's fine, but like it's just different. It's similar to this in a way, but the people like just boo or laugh directly at you. You have to wait 30 seconds to find out whether people hate you or not. Instead of talking to a camera, you basically talk to like a spotlight. So it's otherwise pretty much exactly the same. I don't remember what I was doing specifically. I'm gonna buy some two-stroke whatever. Yeah, I need to buy all the cigarettes, but I already did, right? Yeah, cool. Alright, cool. So I can be addicted to cigarettes now. Perfect. Oh, this is super realistic. Like, you can still do anything while holding a cigarette, which seems to be my experience with most people who smoke. Like, they can do anything with a cigarette in their hand. Also, it sounds like I'm dragging around a bunch of beer. I don't know if that's like a glitch, or if my guy has a bunch of beer in his pocket or something. It's certainly confusing. I'm trying to think when I started this last night, though. Must have been pretty late, right? I think I ended up going to bed at like 5 in the morning. Okay. Alright, I need to basically, I guess I'll just burn through this cigarette real quick, because I don't think I can otherwise use my hands until I have. So, cool. Hey, somebody's watching. Welcome to my summer car. Now with nicotine dependence. It's the free DLC for this game that Marlboro paid for. Come on. I think I need to finish the cigarette, basically. There we go. Cool. Now I can use my hands again. Oh, that's obnoxious. I think that adds a new layer of annoying to this game. Oh no. Okay. Get in the boat, please. Please get in the boat. Alright, there we go. Simple when you know how. I get pretty tired, but I think I could probably make it home, or at least back to the shores and fall asleep there. I'm gonna bypass the island and hope that I don't live to regret that. I'm glad the cigarettes seemingly are going to last nearly forever, though. Like, I think I still have 178 of them, so I should be able to put together the car, I think, without ever having to come back to the store. Hopefully the next time I come back, it's driving my awesome red car. This is so exciting. I seem to always start the stream, by the way, by taking this really long, really boring boat ride all the way across the lake. So, you're welcome. So my friend Josh, who is a comedian, was here, I mean, even moments ago. Might even still be here for all I know. But he and I were talking about this the other day. So I have a dog, Shelby. My brother has a dog, Daisy, um, who's laying in one of my laundry baskets, like chewing up something I'm sure she shouldn't be. And she's not the brightest, so... I've accounted for this, though. I knew this would happen. Alright, so I need to refill the two-stroke engine here. We've kind of been talking about... So, Daisy eats poop because she's a dog, and she's kind of a dumb dog. And there's apparently something you can buy. There's like a spray that you can spray on poop, which gets your dog to stop eating it. But that kind of made me wonder, what would you put on something, like in something that would deter a person from eating it, even though before you sprayed it on it, it was poop? Like what is worse than poop that you would put on something like that? Or is it just something dogs don't like? Like if I had a toddler who ate poop and then I put it on that, would they not want to eat it? Is it borderline toxic or something? Alright. Back across the lake we go. Hello, second person watching my stream. Welcome to it. I'm guessing where you are it is very late. Where I am it's 2 in the morning, so by all account I shouldn't really be doing this. But I am. So I have no good sense about me. Kind of messed with the levels between the last time I did this recording and today, so if I sound like garbage, you'll have to let me know. I guess I could pull up my own stream for a second. I tend not to try and do that because I don't like to give myself just like fake views, right? Just be like, hey, look, more people watched than I thought. And is that really true, or is it just that I had my own stream pulled up? I still look handsome as ever, but yeah, I don't know, I sound fine. Whatever. Good to know. So you'll notice me swaying back and forth right now. That's because my guy's super tired. Like, the more tired you are, the more drunk you are, the more you sway. You can obviously be either of those things. You are just like the dumbest dog, aren't you? Like, you're very adorable, but you're not very smart. He's just sleeping in, like, my, dirty clothes hamper. Whatever, like... She couldn't smell worse, so it's fine. I'm thinking she's probably gonna get a B-A-T-H tomorrow. And for those of you who don't know what I just spelled there, I said bath. I spelled bath. I was trying to, like, figure out who am I really spelling this for, because this dog is not intelligent enough to know what that word even means, probably. I should probably screw that back on. Oh, hey, what's up, Turkey Man? Welcome to the stream. So tonight hasn't gotten too philosophic or anything yet. It's mostly just me talking about nothing while going across the lake here. As you do. I don't love starting every single one of my streams off with like a long boat ride across the lake here, but it just seems to be how it's worked out recently. But most importantly, I got my cigarettes, so I'm like one short van ride away from taking a nap, and like I can just basically hop right back to it. I might even just leave the van there, because I'm not really hauling anything. Oh yeah, like a master seaman. Look at that. Solid. That's how you park a boat, right there, folks. Can't believe I forgot to buy cigarettes the first time I went to the store, though. So that's why, I don't know, we all endured about 2 to 3 hours of me doing this last night together. And that's even just like an approximation, basically. Alright, cool. Look at that red car, huh? It's really coming together. It's got some doors on it and stuff. The engine's almost put together. Oh, hey, Turkey Man, by the way, thank you for sharing my Facebook page. That was very kind. I don't know that, like, anyone else probably looked at it necessarily, but I appreciate it. Let's take a nap. This guy is pretty close to me in terms of his inordinate schedule, I guess. I'm guessing it was probably like 9 or 10 in the morning and he's going to bed. He went to bed probably close to 7 o'clock this morning. Woke up at like 2. Really trying to overachieve, you know? Continuing to make my parents proud. So, taking the shower is definitely new as well. It's like, you're feeling a little bipolar, I guess. Like, immediately sad, then happy. Oh, that's okay. Alright, take care of some thirst now. Make a little urine. I'm just knocking these needs out at the moment. You know, I'm going to do something novel in this game. I'm going to do something probably no other player's really ever done. I'm going to pee in the toilet. It's like so much fun to pee on other things. I just think people probably don't. No, you're not nearly as bad yet as... I've got other fans that are just like... I don't want to say borderline harassing because I do love my fans. Like, I've got other people who are just constantly asking, when are you streaming? Are you streaming today? What are you doing? Like, you know, what size pants do you wear? So you're not anywhere near that level. And it comes with being even the most amateur of YouTuber, which I'll have to consider myself at this point. Like, try as you might, someone in the world will like you. Like, even if you're super contrarian, even if you're just the biggest a-hole, maybe it's because they're the biggest a-hole too, but someone will, I don't know, someone will vibe on your steez, and people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, you're a cool dude. So, that's how, I have 92 people out there in the world that apparently think I'm okay. And I like it. Pretty close to that 100 subscriber landmark. It's kind of a big deal, because then I could get my custom URL. That would feel completely legitimate. Could print out business cards and everything, except that's like super lame, but I might still do it. I don't have anything to be fake proud about. So I'm going to go ahead and say at this point that it's dealer's choice, Turkey Man. Like, if there's anything you want to talk about or hear me talk about, I'm just going to throw that out there. I will try to riff on it. Just like, whatever you want, man. I have no idea what people talk about when they play this game, especially when they play it for, like, this is kind of my 3rd time playing this game. Just happenstantially. I wanted to start a new game because I think basically unless you do, none of the updated content is available to you. So I went back to my old file and there was like nothing to be said of a stress bar or anything. That's obviously like a 6 or something. I'm also just super ADD, so I wanted to work on the engine again, but then I just was like, ah, I'm just gonna put the grill in the car for almost literally no reason. Some people do only this video game, by the way, which I think is insane. Like, some people only stream this game. There's a guy in Finland has like 200 videos of this shit like that. Yeah, it is sad that 3 of 90 are watching right now, I suppose, but it's also 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, so I'm definitely going to cut them a little bit of slack. And but that's the thing, though. I think, like, of the 92 other, 92 people that subscribe to my channel, most of them probably work a pretty regular 9 to 5 and would definitely be asleep by now. But I kind of want to pick up you know, a diverse demographic of people, or like a diverse cross section of people, I guess actually the word. So you got to play weird games at weird times, just to get all those lovely weirdos out there. Because I like all kinds of people, sure. Most people would argue I'm probably a weirdo too. This is why this stinks. Like this part of the night when it's just like I can barely see anything. Like what am I gonna do? Work on this car with a flashlight? Probably at least turn this engine around. Maybe I have better light from this direction. Yeah. So watching some different things on the history of video games today and stuff, and like this guy, I think his name's like Video Game Ahoy or something like that. 416 where you are. Okay, so you are means you're even more east than like the easternmost part of the United States, right? So you must be, are you European or something? I'm trying to figure out how you'd be 2 hours. Well, no, that'd be like way more than 2 hours ahead. Or no, like wait, you're just on the East Coast somewhere, I think. Maybe not. I think it just proved how bad I am with time zones. What am I? Okay, well, firstly, I for sure could put these spark plugs in. That would help. Okay. These are also numbered, I think, right? Yeah, spark plug 3, spark plug 4. Just so you know, because, I don't know, people who put cars together and their only basis for knowing this is this game. Spark plugs are like, I don't know if I want to say universal. I think they are, though. I think they're literally universal. So, like, there's no, this spark plug has to go in this particular socket, this engine or whatever. And then this does require, though, the spark plug wrench. I also feel like I give tutorials for this game a lot, and most everyone who plays it has probably played it more than I have, so it's not really why people are here. Cover thing is not in the engine. Oh. The cover plate? Well, yeah, but that's all part of the timing, though, right? Like, doesn't that go on? Oh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I can put the belt on now, and then all of that has to do with the timing, right? Okay, I gotcha. Actually, I don't even have to put the fan belt on right now, which is good because it's somewhere in my refrigerator, I think. Oh, there it is. I can literally see it. Cool. But I don't think I have to attach the fan belt just yet. You can basically do that last, which is why it's probably the only thing you have to buy from the store. I should have taken the gas can probably too. Australia. Okay, I gotcha. Really? You guys are much closer in time than we are. Unless you're talking, is it 4:16 p.m.? Oh, no. Yeah, you said 4:16. I guess that could be either one. The chain thing. Yeah, so like the there's the should be the timing cover, the timing chain, and then there's, is there a third timing part maybe? Man, I don't remember. Not being able to see anything for sure isn't helping. Ah, the engine plate. That's something I need to have. Probably. Where does this go? Is this? This is what you're talking about, I think, though. Actually. Although, does that look right? Not really. This is like a puzzle, but it's like the worst kind of puzzle. And I think actually this all goes. Doesn't that go underneath like all the transmission stuff? Like, didn't I already mess up basically? I also don't 100% know how to use the flashlight. So Let's do this, I guess. Pardon my stupidity. I mean, it was your choice to come back. It's not really your fault, but maybe this is a better indicator of me not being a genius tonight. Yeah, so that engine plate has to go on before the flywheel. Press G. Okay. Or it looks like it was F, but yeah. All right, cool. All right, so all that stuff needs to come off then. So the engine plate has to go on there, but I'm looking more at like the all of this stuff. Oh, wait, isn't there the? Wait a minute. Okay, so the crankshaft's coming through. It's like right there. The camshaft is right there. It's got the pulley on it. So that, yeah, it's just all the timing stuff. And the belt goes between these two. I don't think I have to put it on yet, though. There is, yeah, there's the timing chain, looks like. Alright, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that the engine plate cover isn't on, because I don't want to deal with that right now. Kind of bums me out, frankly. This stuff needs to go on after the timing chain is on, for sure, though. Yeah, there we go. Timing chain, very cool. The fan belt, for whatever reason, you can put on after. Like, you can definitely put it on at the end, because I've had the fan belt fall off a number of times then to put it back on. So I'm not 100% worried about that. So this is the right area of the engine, but it doesn't look like it's finished yet. Take the blue wheel off. Okay. This guy. That's the crankshaft pulley, I think, or whatever, but okay. Yeah, you're right. That can't go in just yet. I think this is either 12 or 11. It's probably 11. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think if anything else interesting happened today. The answer is not really. I mean, yeah. There we go. Cool. Yes, now the timing chain cover can go on. So have you ever worked on cars before? It's like, honestly, my experience with automotive mechanics is basically limited to this game and some of the car mechanic simulator games. And those are so much easier because you like basically can't mess up. Just kind of stupid. Like, they should definitely let you screw up. They kind of do, like you can not put parts on, but you can't put things on out of, you can't do things out of order. So yeah, I'm trying to remember what the latency is on here. I could probably try ultra low latency, but I'm not sure how much. A, how much that would help, and then B, I'm not sure if my computer, like, or my internet connection could actually, like, honestly handle it either. Okay. Let's put this thing on somewhere. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is starting to look more like an actual engine, which is good. Let's try 8, maybe. It's like I was saying, let's try 9. You know, I'm going to try 7 because I skipped over it, and every time you skip over it, it's like that's the one it was. Yep, there you go. I would have gone all the way through all of them and been like, I'm so certain 7 is not the one, but I would have been wrong. Oh, yeah, so which 4:16 is it in Australia, by the way? Is it 4:16 in the afternoon? I'm trying to think of, like, the rotation of the Earth and, like, which way, on which side of the sun you are. Probably taking this opportunity to like take back anything you said about how intelligent I was last night. That's okay. I can't be intelligent every day, you know? And I know a lot of cool stuff. I don't know, it's all packed away in different places. Yes, afternoon. So you're like home from school or something. Well, I don't know the particulars of like your age and demographic and all that sort of thing. I could probably try and figure it out based on YouTube, but then I would be like the creep, right? And I'm glad you mentioned that, because some people like to pretend as though there are no boundaries, and like I don't know, I like YouTube fans, subscribers and stuff, but like it's definitely okay to keep a little distance too. And be respectful of the fact it's like, yeah, I do the YouTube thing, but I also have like my own life going on. Some people definitely don't feel like doing that. Alright, let's work on the taking off the flywheel and all this crap. Hopefully the sun's gonna come out soon. It looks like it is lightening up. Oh. Figure it out? Yeah, I have a tendency to fall in these holes every once in a while. Don't pay the super closest of attention to where I'm walking. I'm trying to remember from last night. I think this is a 7 or an 8. I don't remember. 7. The weirdest parts of cars just like have the weirdest size spanners too, and you're like, oh, that's a really important 6. It's a really important part of the car, so it must be a really big socket or like a really big bolt. It's just not. Oh, it's gonna be all the fun of me taking these out really slowly. Your internet is so bad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what is the common internet speed in Australia? Like where I'm at, I think I have 50 megabit per second or something like that internet. And a lot of places around here, we might be a test market for like FiOS, fiber optic, which would be like, I don't know, I swear it's nearly a gig per second basically. It's just so stupidly fast. Not that you would bother, but you could probably download like the Library of Congress in like 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rule it as saying I started this stream too late or too early. Because I don't know, people pick up in this game at the weirdest time. Basically, if you want to stream this game, you need to figure out what time it is in Finland. It's probably like 10 in the morning there or something. 2.91 megs per second. Upload speed, okay. 31.3 down. Yeah, upload is obviously the critical one for me, but I would think download speeds like that would be able to help you keep pace. Okay, I think this then is where I need to put on the engine plate cover. That looks correct. Great. Oh, I hate that. You could hear it. Like, I could definitely hear that I untightened a screw, I mean a bolt or whatever, by like half a turn, like a quarter of a turn or whatever. But I have no idea where, right? Like, this engine has so many of those different pieces. Maybe in the bottom here. And whatever I just did, as soon as I start the car, it's gonna break the car. This game. Oh well, whatever. I asked for this nightmare. It's my fault. just the oil filter. That's what I would have thought, but then I kind of gave it a twist and I didn't really see anything, hear anything go back. But I'm also thinking, like, there's not that many parts on here that are probably this specific spanner size. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, is that a storm outside? Wasn't there a storm in this game last night? I don't hear anything. How is the volume, by the way? Like, do I sound alright? And then also on hand mode. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I think you've played this game a lot. I wonder what the new speedrun is for this game. I think it was like 48 minutes for full construction or something like that, the last time I knew anything about it. I'm quite certain I'm not being remotely competitive about it at this point. That's okay. I don't think I would ever want to be a My Summer Car speedrunner. Okay, cool. Sometimes people, I don't know, they just like, they don't tell you that you sound like crap or like the game's too quiet or I'm too quiet until like 3 hours into a stream and they've been there the whole time. You're like, why wouldn't you tell me this, I don't know, several hours ago when I could have done something about it? When I could have like potentially retained some of my viewers and whatever and not had to go back and look like an idiot. I also think it's weird that there are certain different audio enhancements you can do in post-production in like YouTube's video editor, but among them isn't like just a way to, yeah, what is that? Is that the train? Sorry, I'm definitely like super ADD sometimes. Like there's that weird light out in the woods though, and this game would be the exact kind of game that'd be like, hey, there's a ghost out there, or like there's some kind of weird Easter egg. It's like a ghost carrying a lantern or something, which would be super cool. And if that was the case, I want to go see it. In fact, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming My Summer Car tonight. I might do it for about an hour or something, and then I might switch over to something completely different, depending on if I have it downloaded or not. I think I do, though. Alright, I'm going to take a look at my extensive Steam library for just a moment, so you guys will get to take a look at that as well. But let's see if I have this game downloaded. I doubt I do. No, I don't. How big is it? Oh, it's tiny. Yeah, it's super tiny. Okay. If I get bored, I might later. I think that's the... Oh, okay. I got you. That would make sense. The green car is the drunk driver, by the way, right? But yeah, I might switch after, I don't know, about an hour of this, and depending on how much of the car I get put together, I might change gears and play a little game called Bigfoot. I haven't played it very much yet, but it's interesting enough subject matter to me, which is, you know, it's all about Bigfoot. I think PewDiePie played it with Cinnamon Toast Ken at one point, but then that like he played it for one episode and was like, well, I'm done. The gearbox. I think I'm ready for the gearbox at this point, right? Yeah, it seems right. I also forgot to buy a mosquito spray, which is another semi-frustrating thing. So, I will ask you briefly, what is your opinion on things? So, Bigfoot is what you would classify as a cryptozoological creature, right? Because he cannot be proven to exist. And the fact that we haven't seen him doesn't necessarily disprove that he doesn't exist either. Oh, oil pan. Okay, that's a good call. So, what are your thoughts on Bigfoot? Do you think he's out there? Nine. Okay. I'll assume that's in response to Bigfoot and your opinions on him. I don't know. I would love for Bigfoot to be true, like to be a real thing, but I just think it's that in particular is something that's so easy to hoax. Like, I mean, you could just be wearing. At this point, I'm sure they make Bigfoot costumes, right? Like, I mean, it's a funny thing you go to as Halloween. So, it's definitely going to just perpetuate the myth with people, because people like to be trolls. I don't know, if you've taken, 10 steps around YouTube, you should probably realize that by now. But people love to troll. So at this point, the myth, I think, is perpetuated by people who are out there impersonating Bigfoot. For people that are looking for a Bigfoot, which is probably a really dumb and bad way to get yourself shot. I guarantee you people are doing it though. And so I don't myself believe in Bigfoot. But I think cryptozoology as a study is interesting. And I think there are other cryptozoological creatures that are more likely to exist and are just much more fascinating in my opinion too. One that's kind of fun or funny, though, I thought about doing a video just kind of explaining what they are. Probably the nearest cryptozoological creature to me would be known as the Loveland, Ohio frogman, or the frogman of Loveland, Ohio. And they're said to be about between 3 and 4 feet tall, and then they look mostly like a frog, but then have like hair all over their bodies too. I don't know, I guess. Yeah, I've got GTA 5. I haven't tried streaming it yet since I got my stream processor. The answer is I probably could. But yeah, I know that Bigfoot is certainly like in the... It's almost kind of like an Easter egg as the last mission or whatever. And there's been a game mode for a while now where you play as Bigfoot, I think also. What's up, Xbox Fun Time? Welcome back. Just trying to screw together this engine here. Getting a little help from Turkey Man. He's literally saving my car right now, really. So I need to put the drive gear in. Remember that much at least. And to the best of my knowledge, no, it's got one. I was about to say, I don't think it has any. It's got one. Which makes sense. We were just talking Bigfoot. And then I was briefly kind of talking the Loveland, Ohio frogmen. So the whole thing about the frogmen is that they're like, yeah, between 3 and 4 feet tall. They've been spotted by like, first just a traveling salesman. So like, I don't know, it's just, that'd be one of those stories where it's easy to perpetuate a story like that, especially as someone who has to make new business communications, things like that. As establishing yourself as a person of interest, or like being, having a certain uniqueness about yourself. So I could definitely see someone's motivations to fabricate a story like that. But like, I guess they just kind of look like frogs. Yeah, it's super hard. If I were intelligent, or if I was just like, I don't know, had my act together, I'd probably be opening like, there's definitely a Wikipedia out there that will tell you all the different bolt sizes for all these different parts. And it's super helpful. Since I have nothing but time to fill anyway, I might as well just do this. I'll just keep doing trial and error, guessing and wasting everyone's time. Anyway, the most interesting thing about the Loveland, Ohio frogmen, though, they've been reportedly seen as recently as the 80s and as far back as like the 40s, I think. But a specific, more than a couple specific accounts of them say that they have like a magical wand they wave above their head that kind of makes like, I don't know, it'll just be something similar, like a sparkler almost. It's just so stupid. Like the things that people waste their time not only believing in, but like, I guarantee you there's someone right now waiting around in the like boggy marshes of Loveland, Ohio looking for frogmen. And I don't know, like, I don't know how I would respond if I saw one either. I would probably laugh, frankly. Not afraid of a frog man. Hate to say. Oh, among the more interesting cryptozoological, though, maybe look this up, maybe don't, because in a way it's kind of scary, even though it's like, I don't know, this thing has existed at such a long time ago, it probably doesn't anymore, and probably, I mean, almost certainly didn't at the time either. But there was a man, maybe, or something, known as Spring Heel Jack, and I don't know that any of you out there have probably heard of Spring Heel Jack. I think they should make a video game about him, either with you playing as Spring Heel Jack or the person who's trying to investigate him. But he's a more interesting character, and he's like a supervillain who was said to exist in like Victorian. Okay, I guess I screwed that in already. To exist in like the Victorian era and terrorize parts of England, but is also again kind of like the Killer Clowns. Yeah. The Killer Clowns. There's a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's just terrible. I love bad B horror movies. I'll watch anything. One of my more recent videos was on Attack of the Killer Donuts. It was like a one-part review series that I'll probably come back and do a little bit later, but I don't know. I try and keep up the streaming thing because that seems to be what people want to see the most. Is this engine pretty much all but done? What else am I missing over here? Oh, this guy needs to go on somewhere. Yeah, the engine's effectively almost done. Hey, how's it going, Josie? I'm doing pretty well. How are you? I was talking about cryptozoology. Do you know anything about cryptozoological creatures? But Spring Heel Jack, which I was talking about before he got in here, is just kind of a weird maybe man, maybe, I don't know, demon, something. But he's been known to, he basically has like some kind of mechanical apparatus type suit ability to jump over, I don't know, 10, 12 foot tall walls. He's been known to like scale walls and jump from rooftops and stuff. And then also, more interestingly, breathe blue fire from his mouth. So there are like, I don't know, probably a dozen reported sightings of this person too, starting in Victorian era England and then coming across the pond over to the United States as recently as like the 1980s. But he's just weird because he's kind of like he's a bad guy, like he's a villain, but he's also like super juvenile. Like he's just known to like, he can also move really fast. He's like the Flash kind of, I guess. But every time he's seen or spotted, for the most part, he just does something kind of stupid. Like he'll advance upon, like, he attacked a military base apparently at one point and was, you know, ran up upon this guard so fast the guy couldn't see him, and then just slapped the guy in the face and ran away. So he's like kind of the original internet troll too. I mean, predating the internet. Alright, am I missing anything? I mean, these are all like controller functions and stuff, things that go in once I have the engine mounted, but I think I'm ready to start working probably on the suspension. Go ahead and place the subframe first. I think I have it backwards though, and possibly upside down. I don't know. Let's just get it in here. The game will fix it for me, probably. Yeah, I was about to say, they'll just give me a check mark. They'll put it in correctly, even though I wouldn't have, almost for certain. You know of cryptozoology. Okay. You know what it's about. Okay, kind of doesn't surprise me, I guess. Like, some of what you would see in Bioshock Infinite, you'd probably call, like, borderline cryptozoological. I mean, if it had any basis in the real world. I guess what comes to mind specifically is like that weird, you had a name for it, but the thing, you need the starter. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. And that's on the back of the gearbox, I think, right? It's like right, there, I think. Starter. Yeah, that's what it looks like too. Cool. But yeah, like that guy with the weird sirens on his head that can apparently see and hear everything, even though he's not that hard to sneak by. That's something that would strike me as being like cryptozoological. I only bring that up because I was thinking about in a little bit, instead of playing this for an eternity, which is what I've been doing mostly recently, is actually, I mean, it goes pretty near the gearbox, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. And I was thinking about playing Bigfoot. It's a game where you just literally try and hunt and capture Bigfoot, which sounds fun, but it's also like kind of on the boundary of being maybe a horror game, because Bigfoot is pretty like scary in that game, and I think he's killed me more than a few times. I'm not a huge like horror genre fan though, honestly. I mean, I know that as a YouTube streamer, like people have certain expectations. If I had more money, I might throw money like at games like Resident Evil 7 or whatever and try and play some of that stuff. But I'm kind of a coward, so yes, the Boys of Silence. There you go. The guys in the asylum. I would think they would be like, if they weren't first inspired by video games, someone would probably account for a sighting of something like that, and that would be something somewhat cryptozoological. I think the most terrifying thing, cryptozoologically speaking, I've ever heard of is Goatman. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that or not. Or actually, skinwalkers are probably even more terrifying than Goatman. They're both kind of similar, though. I just think it's interesting that all of these things are at least believed by some people in the world to exist. In my opinion, no. Probably almost none of them do. Okay, what was I doing again? Just meandering around the garage talking about stuff. I don't endorse smoking, but this game does, so it's gonna take a really long, continuous drag off this cigarette, I guess. I was mostly waiting for people to show up and tell me what to talk about. The distributor. Okay, yeah. Where is that? It's the battery. Gear linkage. Why can't I think of where the distributor is or what it looks like right now? I haven't played this game in too long, obviously. Alright, all that stuff goes in after you... Oh, there we go. Yeah, and then this guy just like pops into the top, basically. At the only place it logically would. There's like a hole where this goes. There it is. Pardon me while I install this distributor while still smoking. Oh, that's beautiful. That's totally what this game's all about, by the way. English, why you fail, man. I can't answer that. I can't really account for that. I want to say it's because I'm an American streamer and you're an Australian, so we do have a basic language barrier. But I feel like that's mostly accenting. So I've obviously got the wrong. So whoa, jeez. What size does that look like, everyone? I'm gonna guess 6, maybe, but that's what I thought I was holding. I guess not. Hey, look at that, lucky gas. Gas and petrol. Like in Australia, you go to a petrol station. I'm trying to think what are the weirdest, like crisps and chips or whatever. And what are some other, like, well, I don't know if that's an Australian thing or not. And actually, Australians have, according to Americans, just like the craziest expressions, which all make sense to you guys, but make no sense at all to us. Also, I'll get a professional opinion since you played this game a lot. Do you normally put the clock or the RPM gauge in the dash? Because I know you can't have both, for sure. Yeah, it's 6. I figured it out, which you're now figuring out based on the fact you probably caught up to the stream. I wonder, I probably can't change it in the middle of my stream. I'm tempted, though, to try the ultra low latency setting, which would be... I'm guessing it would still be like 10 seconds. I'll just have to try and deal with, I don't know what it is, probably a 15 to 20 second delay right now. Also, I don't know, like, I'm doing my summer car, but I have so many videos on this game by now, too. If you guys can think of a game you'd rather see, there's more than a reasonable chance I have it. And if I don't have it, there's still more than a reasonable chance, if I want to play it, that I would probably buy it. So, if you guys are going to keep showing up, I'm definitely open to suggestions about games to play. Just don't get me wrong. Oh, I did that backwards. I always do that because I'm looking at the face of the car. So this is actually rear left. This is rear right. I always do that, I swear. Alright. I need to remember to screw in the subframe too. Front right. And front left. I would love to at some point go through BioShock 1. I've never bothered playing BioShock 2, and anyone who likes the BioShock series in general has told me basically not to bother playing BioShock 2. So... Josie R.I. girl, actually, yes, I believe. Although this is the internet, so who knows. I think the only one... I think the only one you can really account for is knowing for sure whether I'm a guy or girl. And you can't really know for sure. It would be me. Oh, did I find a memory leak? Because my computer's running kind of slow all of a sudden. That'd be interesting. Well, I'm glad you're here, Josie, not because you're a girl necessarily, because you're a fan, but I would be lying if I didn't say, like, hey, it's cool that you're here and you're a girl, because I know that my channel specifically tends to skew male in demographic, and I think that's pretty common for a gaming channel, of which I have to consider myself, at least currently. I do work on other things, but they don't seem to get the same reception as streaming video games. Why does this house look so weird? Like, everything looks like it's under a spotlight. It's weird looking. So cool. I mean, I appreciate all my fans, if I'm honest, but it's just neat. Like, among the reasons I'm doing YouTube, I just like to meet new people. And it's a cool way to do that without actually leaving my house, which I did that today too, but... Plus, I don't know, I'm talking to someone from Australia right now. And it's like, literally, you guys are ahead 14 hours right now. And yet we still complain that all of my comments take 30 seconds to get to you. I know. What a world we live in. What was I doing? Besides wasting time. Alright. Wrong side again. This game's fun, but I have a really hard time playing it. I lack focus in general. Oh, okay. They're my main form of entertainment. Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, I think that's kind of a younger generation thing, which I think is cool. I'm going to include myself in that, even though I am... We'll say I'm 24. I liked when you guys said that last night, so we'll say I'm 24, and that I belong in that same demographic. I'm trying to figure out... I think it's pointless to try to figure out why people like streaming as an entertainment option, but I think at least part of it is it's very personal, right? So you guys get to say something in the stream and I get to immediately sort of interact with you guys, which is cool. It's like having another friend or just hanging out with someone. And you can't always hang out with people at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so it definitely makes sense. So Josie, I think you had said last night you're taking both high school and college courses right now. If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty confident I remember that. So, if you don't mind my asking, have you decided on a major for college? And I will punctuate that by saying you definitely have more time to figure out, you know, if you don't yet. But I also don't remember if you did tell me. If you did tell me, I am immediately regretful of asking and 100% sorry. Springs. Yeah, I'm sorry. I will get the springs in. As you can tell, I obviously don't pay much attention to what I'm doing, because I already talked about, hey, make sure I... And why am I running back and forth to this toolbox? Oh yeah, I remember, because I'm also trying to do a stream right now. Paying way more attention, way closer attention to the comments than I am what I'm doing in the game. Which is good. If you guys like listening to me talk, if this is your ASMR channel, you guys will have plenty of content to go back and listen to now. Maybe I'm wrong about the size of these bolts, but I thought they were 12. No, 10 maybe. Or maybe I just wasn't even looking. Yeah, 10. If you guys want to see something really embarrassing for this game, you should maybe go back and watch the first time I ever streamed it, because I had literally no idea what I was doing. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to let the streamers all tell me what to do. But I think this game is kind of complicated enough. You need to introduce yourself to it at least a little bit. Because not only did I not know anything about cars, generally speaking, and I kind of still don't know anything, I also didn't know how this game operates and like sees cars or whatever. Used to watch a lot of straight Let's Plays, but hours of gameplay and no interaction is annoying. And yes, I'm going to occupational therapy. You did tell me that. Yep, and yeah, I remember all those details now, because I remember telling you my friend Dave does that and is highly satisfied with his job. So I would say that's a highly respected, highly sought after, very intelligent career choice. I support that. Thumbs up. Not me responding late, it's just your brother. So I feel like the king of Let's Plays have to be the Game Grumps, right? Are any of you Game Grumps fans? And if so, do any of you have YouTube Red? And if so, are any of you watching Good Game? Springs first, you're right. Didn't mean to trigger you. I need to get this out of the garage too, probably. It's so easy to disappoint fans, by the way. I don't want to do it, but I know that I will at some point. Especially playing a game as meticulous and demanding as this one. This is the like heart-pounding, exciting gameplay you guys have come to ask for on my channel. So I'm glad to fulfill that need in your life. We're watching someone virtually jack up a car. What a strange world we live in, by the way. So during the month of August, I'm going to go ahead and bother explaining this because I feel like most people in here tonight are newer fans to my channel. For most of the month of August, it seems like for no real or apparent reason. Now I think you're trolling, because I don't think I can actually put the springs on first, because I think they have to rest on that thing. And this I'm almost certain is a size 10, we'll say. That or I'm just misunderstanding you. or like I said originally, this is almost certainly a size 12. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. Then the springs. Yeah, if you put the shocks on, you basically can't put the springs on, I think. I have dealt with that before, and it's kind of an enormous pain, so I'm glad you reminded me of that. But yeah, this is my third time, I think, building the car on a stream, which is basically my own admission that I'm out of ideas. Not really, I don't know. I look at things, I probably take too much of a business focus on my YouTube channel and just look at, hey, what do people like to watch? Like, oh, they like when you headbang against the tire, and I think that's really funny or whatever. No, and just in general, they like my summer car. And I don't know what it is. I think part of it's that it has international appeal because people in Finland apparently love this game, and like countries surrounding Finland. It's not super helpful though to have fans that you don't speak the same language as, so there's a lot coming from you. Hey, you're welcome. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't understand what occupational therapy is. When you say occupational therapy, everyone kind of thinks physical therapy. I think I kind of had that understanding for a while, but it's definitely different. I think the people's lives you're impacting by doing occupational therapy, like it's such a, I think, a rewarding experience that it's definitely worth it. If it paid half what it does, which I think it pays pretty well, by the way. I mean, if you're looking at it strictly fiscally speaking, it's a rewarding career in a number of different ways. But I think honestly, if it paid half what it did, it'd still be worth doing, just because of the people's lives you're impacting. If you're the kind of person who likes to see, you know, positive and immediate change in people's lives, like occupational therapy is a cool thing. Cool. Let's go with a size 6, maybe. That's the other reason I play this game on stream, is I'm kind of counting on everyone to remind me the things I'm forgetting. It's like, hey, you forgot to screw in this part or that part. Hey, your car's for sure not going to work because of this or that. Cool. Just kind of throw that over there. Yeah, it's get used to that. Unfortunately, everyone kind of, I don't know what it is, but people can't really understand, like they just don't care enough maybe to understand the difference between occupational therapy and physical therapy. So that's an unfortunate side effect of being an occupational therapist. The people who need your help obviously know exactly what you do, and they're extremely grateful, so pretty awesome. And Turkey Man, I assume you're some kind of like turkey rancher or something. I guess I didn't really bother asking you last night. I think you might also be younger than Josie, so you're probably not necessarily career focused yet. Which, by the way, if you can stay in that attitude for a while, it's good. Like, I don't know. It's cool to get ahead and stuff. I think you're smart for doing that, Josie, but at the same time, don't miss out on being a kid or being young. Everyone, I think, makes a certain number of mistakes throughout their lifetime, and it's probably easier to get them out of the way when you're young. And sometimes you don't really get to choose what those mistakes are or when they're being made, or even really know that you're making them. For example, you could be like, hey, I recently turned 30. Probably time to get into the YouTube scene. Probably start streaming really weird Finnish games, right? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Kind of in slow motion. I just feel like my guy woke up maybe an hour ago, and then he's ready to go back to bed again. But then I also remember that if you were... don't even like PT, yeah. It's just, yeah, they're super different. People just know that people won't understand the difference. Yeah, 14. Yep. I wouldn't really be thinking too much about, I don't know, what your career has to be at 14. And you're always like welcome to change your mind and stuff. I haven't really figured out what kind of career I want. I've been in pharmacy. I was like in retail pharmacy for 5 years. Switched over to finance, which almost like killed me from just boredom. I would review annuity contracts, which I'm sure none of you out there knows what an annuity is. And I'm not trying to be like smug about it or whatever. It's a weird kind of like retirement vessel that people don't really use. She had an OT manager this summer. She was amazing, very cool. The way she could spend an hour in a room and have a patient with COPD and pneumonia laughing and comfortable, it's magical. Yeah, so I guess that's what I'm trying to speak to too, is if you do care about people and you relate well interpersonally, it's just you get to see how you change people's lives, and I don't think you get that very often in jobs. And that's something that I always kind of felt like I was missing maybe a little bit. That's kind of what's fun about YouTube, generally speaking. It's fun for me to think that there are people out there in the world that are going to wake up tomorrow, see that I did another at least hour stream of this game, and it'll be like their favorite part of the day. And I don't understand that. I guess I'm just trying to stay humble and everything. But like, that's super cool to me too. And that to me is legitimately rewarding. Like I love reading comments and like messages and stuff. It does, I don't know, like it keeps me going. I'm trying to like also still be like, take it easy. You have 92 people in the world who kind of care what you do on the internet. It's not exactly the biggest deal, but it's still fun, and it is rewarding. I don't remember what size socket this is, but let's guess smaller. Let's go like, nope. It's time for Guess That Spanner. Put your guesses out there in the comments. We'll see who's right. And if you are right, I don't know. I don't really have any prizes. I can come up with something. I do movie reviews sometimes, right? I was talking about Attack of the Killer Donuts. Did a review for that. Did a review for Christian Mingle. But if you said 6, you're wrong. If you said 7, you're also wrong. But like, I thought a fun giveaway perhaps at around 250, maybe 500 subscribers. I think I'd like to get like a 12 or 13. Okay. I mean, that's technically 2 guesses, but I think if you're right on either one of them, I'll give you credit for it. I think a fun thing that... yeah, 13. Okay, lucky number 13. Very cool. I think a fun thing to do at around maybe 250 subscribers, 500 if I ever get there, would be like... I just want to get like a silver or gold Sharpie, right? And autograph some VHS tapes and then just send them to people. And I guess we have a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old out there. Whoops. It's fine. Honestly, it's my dad's car anyway. I don't really care. Do you guys know what VHS tapes are? It's like the kind of thing that I wouldn't have to ask probably any of my near 30-year-old friends, but at this point it's probably worth asking. It accounts for thinking of one girl in a small Texas town who thinks you're the bee's knees. Aww. That's sweet. I appreciate you, Josie. You might get something in the mail someday. Who knows? But I don't know. So that's just the kind of like weird giveaway I was thinking of, and it's mostly not. Obviously, it's not really that important to have like. I don't know. Who cares about having a VHS tape? Regardless of what the VHS tape is, it's not helpful. Like everyone watches things on Netflix. Even if you don't, you watch probably things on either DVD or Blu-ray. And even that's kind of like outdated at this point, right? Why can't I lower this jack? I have to be in tool mode. I have to. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I guess that's kind of the idea, though. Is like it's more the idea that I sent you something or that you won something than it really is like hey, this is a cool thing to have. It's not an iPhone 7. It's not like a PS4. I don't know. I would give all of my fans one of those if I could afford it. I doubt I ever can or ever will be able to. Or I mean, not all of my fans, because I don't think that's a good way to make money, but maybe certainly some of them. A very select few, probably one or two. You have a collection of VHS. Very cool. So you're completely aware. Well, I've got some good movies to choose from. Some that I can even see from right here. I have Groundhog Day, Sister Act 2, Liar Liar. I'm fairly certain I have Top Gun hanging around here somewhere. I think of what else I have. But there's kind of like a thrift store around here where I pick up a lot of these things. It actually goes to like a Christian related charity. It's like a thrift store run by a church, and they have a bunch of VHS tapes that are already so cheap, and then I kind of like buy them on days when they're even cheaper. So like they cost me like a quarter a piece. It would cost me significantly more probably to mail some of this stuff than it would anything else, but it could be fun. So I don't know. I'm coming up with ideas, trying to be original, but it's hard. The internet's hard. Everybody's doing everything all the time. The only thing you can hope for is that people like you more than other people. Oh, there's... Where did I put my wrenches? It's been a long day. Alright, cool. Hey, the trunk popped off. That seems about right. I don't even... What was I doing? What is my life? My parents were right. Cool. There's that. Very cool. When do I want to put the, do I want to put the shock absorbers on now? Like the front struts or whatever? Or do I want to do that later? I'll ask, Turkey Man, because I'm sure he knows. VCR broke a while back, huh? Sorry to hear that. It's probably hard to find a VCR at this point, too, really. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. So maybe if you got something for me, it'd be more sentimental anyway, but yeah. I'm trying to think what movies out there would be worth reviewing, too. And I'm trying to decide, too, if I want to do just movies that are, like, bad and kind of do satiric type, like, mean reviews. Because I feel like the whole internet is just that. It's just people being critics and saying things suck. And so I don't know, I kind of want to like fight back against all that noise, but at the same time some movies are pretty much indefensible in how terrible they are. And also I don't know, I'd like to make a video that someone would like to watch, you know. Spindles before anything else. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Well. Yep, do that front right. Cool. You know, if my dad wanted this done right, he could have done it himself. I'm 19 years old in this game. Otherwise, as we've all agreed, I'm obviously 24. You know, being 30 is not all that bad. It's fine. I don't feel that old yet. I'm honestly at that age too where people might confuse some of my senility for wisdom, which is cool. Just like I'm literally pulling down this jack and hitting myself in the head the entire time and not really thinking about it. Also, I've got the tow cable now. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that. I forgot about the tow rope in general. Let me just drink a beer before I die, which sounds like a very alcoholic type thing to say. I also didn't realize how tired I am. Should probably address some of these fatigue issues as well. Yeah, mostly all my old kids movies. Okay, I gotcha. It's not Disney or anything. So, prehistoric documentaries. Very cool. So, my friend Josh, I don't know if anyone else, like I was talking about him towards the beginning of the stream. I've done a few streams with him. He's more of a professional stand-up comedian. He's super into dinosaurs, always has been. But, like, I don't know how researched he is on dinosaurs. I know he certainly loves all the, like, the Jurassic Park stuff. So, as being someone who is well informed about dinosaurs, how do you feel about things like Jurassic Park? I'll ask that super deep intellectual question. It's not really deep, it's just I'm curious. Most people would probably argue some of the accuracies of depictions of dinosaurs in that movie, those movies. But I obviously like them because they're just entertainment value. They're literal blockbuster movies. Oh, guess I'm thirsty again. Just do the same things everyone does when they're thirsty and just drink out of the faucet connected to the bathtub. Oh, I don't know. It's a funny stream thing to put my urine somewhere it doesn't belong, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make a basket with my pee. I am clever and original. Look at this. I'm such a yoker. Up. And there I go again. I do think it's funny that once your pee stream starts to slow a little bit, you have to like push the rest of it out. Which I don't know if that's a uniquely male perspective or not. I've never had female genitalia, probably never will. But it's definitely something that as a man is a thing sometimes. Maybe not at 14, but Turkey, when you're closer to 30, you might understand. Oh, what to eat? I feel like I got pizza, sausage, macaroni. It's pretty bad when none of the food in the game you're playing even sounds good. Guess I'll have some macaron box, as it's called. I don't know if macaron's like a brand in Finland or what. Not a huge critic of stuff like that. I mean, you're right, accuracy isn't perfect, but I still love them. Yeah, I'll have to agree, I like Jurassic Park quite a bit. I don't think you go into a movie like that being like, this story about dinosaurs isn't very accurate, I don't think. Because people are like, yeah, it's already about dinosaurs, like, who cares? You're being really nitpicky about something that could never happen anyway. Although, I don't know, they've been saying interesting things about, like, finding dinosaur DNA and possibly being able to clone dinosaurs, which sounds like the start to a Jurassic Park movie, and I don't know that it's a great idea, but I would be interested. If there was a literal Jurassic Park, you could bet I'd be there, you know, knocking on the front door. Like, hey, so, about those dinosaurs. I think I'd like to take a gander. Working on the car at night is really hard, especially when I don't particularly remember what I'm doing. I mentioned how ADD I am, right? Oh, I also don't think, yeah, I was about to say, I for sure didn't screw in the spindle on either side. I also didn't apparently screw in any of these wishbones. Is that all the more light I get out here, really? Okay, cool. They haven't added anything, I don't think, to watch on the TV yet. Nope. I guess I could be wrong about that. Just the one channel, though, right? Oh, what's this? I've never actually watched this. It's just like classic piano. It's, I guess that makes sense. It's what you would call royalty-free music, like things from the public domain. It might be like an original composition from the game's creator as well. This is kind of a cool or funny little thing. Like, I don't know how many people actually have a wooden train, but I did have one. Like, it was in our house as a kid. I don't think it was anyone's favorite toy. It definitely kind of stuck more to like Game Boy and Pokemon and stuff like that. I wish I could kill the mosquito with spray paint. I feel like in real life that would definitely be a thing. Am I allowed to vandalize the flag? Nope. Not in my Finland. I guess I should just keep working on the car, but I'm so not into it right now. I don't like working on it in the dark. Especially when I keep knocking it almost off the jack. You need to tell me something personal. You know it's gonna show up in the chat, right? I mean, I cannot say it out loud, but it's literally gonna be like there's gonna be a video graphic record of it for the next however long YouTube is a thing. If you want to tell me something personal, a good place to do that would be on my Facebook page. So that would be my recommendation to you. But if you're just kind of like setting me up for a gag, then yeah, go ahead. Oh, on messages. Yeah, no, of course. Anything you send me on Facebook's just, yeah, it's between us. It's such a specifically like high school kind of thing to like people kind of use gossip as blackmail almost or whatever, and like I don't, it's the worst and dumbest thing you can do probably is betray someone's trust. You just can't win those sort of things back. There we go. Now I'm tempted to like do something funny though and make up something else about you live on stream here. I'm not gonna do that either though. I'm just too nice. I'll just say something cryptic about it so that you know that I got it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see here. Awesome, man. Hey, it takes, honestly, a lot of courage to admit something like that. I'll just leave it as being cryptic like that. I'll be very happy to get back to you about that message once I'm done streaming here. But in the meantime, I'm just glad you're hanging out. Alright, cool. How long is night in this world? Can you track it by looking at the moon? Is that a thing? Like you can track it by looking at the sun during the day? Seems like probably not. Very cool. I try to be as responsive as I can to messages on Facebook, by the way, too. I'm not always great about that, just because, I don't know, life happens, right? But whenever I can be, I try and be accommodating to that sort of thing. I don't like nighttime around here. I'm glad I found out you can turn the TV on though, and this music's kind of nice actually. I always wanted to like learn how to play piano. I just never have. Yay for being homeschooled. It's high school drama. I mean, still plenty of it, not as much as regular schools, for sure. Ah, I see. So that's why you're pushing on and pushing forward and ahead and all that sort of stuff. Let me tell you something I'll tell you someone else's secret, which it won't really be a big deal because I kind of give him crap about it all the time. But he's all in good fun. One of my best friends. My friend John, who I don't know if he's really doing YouTube stuff or not necessarily, he and I both did a couple different podcasts together, of which I think both are basically coming to YouTube right now. We're kind of just like converting them from audio files to like audio with a picture file. But my friend John is homeschooled and obviously was like his entire life and whatever. He's one of the smartest dudes I know. Like, you will not beat John in Trivial Pursuit. But he also had, like, a probably less than conventional, like, upbringing or whatever. So I was kind of his... I don't want to pat myself on the back too much here, but I think I kind of helped him accomplish some kind of social normalcy. Because beyond being homeschooled, I think he grew up in, like, a really, really strictly religious environment. Probably too much so. And so I think he was just kind of kept more sheltered than was probably to his benefit growing up. But now we have a lot of like ongoing running jokes and stuff, and he's been my, you know, among my best friends for probably 10 years now. I don't want to get all sappy and stuff talking about it in the very off chance he ends up watching this and gets about an hour and a half into it. But yeah, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. I'll agree with that. I think people tend to get discouraged by that sort of statement, and it's kind of sad because I think just people give up on things too quickly or too easily, and they accept failure as being like a reason to stop. And failure isn't a reason to stop. Failure is a reason to, you know, maybe reevaluate. Failure is an opportunity to grow, like an opportunity to learn something, and then try something different. But you definitely can make it very far in this world by just being very hardworking, being earnest, and yeah, I don't know, just giving it your all every day is kind of paramount to success, in my opinion. In fact, if you follow these simple rules, you too could have 92 followers on YouTube one day. Subscribers, sorry. How dare I? I'll watch my terminology. So I picked up some other people in the stream here. If any of you lurkers want to join the comment section, you're certainly welcome to. If not, thanks for showing up. I appreciate your viewage, your patronage. That was weird. I don't know what was going on in the stream, but for sure it looked like I was clapping for a second. I don't remember clapping, so maybe, guys, maybe my stream is haunted. Or maybe it speaks to the duality of my character. Like, maybe I have multiple personalities and I just don't remember. It's going to blackout mode. Hopefully the evil version of myself is still pretty nice, though. What to do. So that's the other spindle down here. I love that you guys, there's no way in the world you guys are watching this as a reference in how to play this game correctly, because I've very much proven at this point I'm not the right stream to be watching for that. If you're watching this as like a faux tutorial kind of, or like a like let's build together kind of thing, I'm probably one of the best channels for that, because you're not going to get, like, it doesn't get any slower than this in terms of building this car. But it's kind of almost not my primary focus, if I'm honest. Is there some kind of weird horror music on in like the other room now? It's like borderline creepy. I just don't like this music. Let's turn it off. Very antisocial, insensitive, and agoraphobic. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really important. Maybe if, like, I don't think homeschooling is a bad thing. It's very difficult for anyone to even argue that. I think homeschooled kids, by and large, developmentally, are probably on average much more intelligent. I think there are probably 10 different studies I could point to that would say exactly that. but there is a certain type of social intelligence that also can't be neglected. And, you know, I guess, honestly, I can teach you how to be awkward. You're at a great place for that. But no, really, like, it kind of makes sense that streaming entertainment would be something for people who are homeschooled. And I don't know, like, I try to be a channel for everyone, so most of my jokes lean to be on, like, the silly or goofy side or just stupid, but, like, not ordinarily offensive. I can't hold myself to that standard all the time, unfortunately. I am human, but I try to put out a product that's pretty squeaky clean, too. I am so not paying attention. I'm going to let you guys in on a secret, though. I actually enjoy hanging out with you, too. So if that's why I seem distracted from this game, it's that I'm trying to pay the utmost of attention to, like, comments and things like that. Is this jack just not, like, all the way jacked up? Is it all jacked up, bro? Not quite, I guess. My goal this go around is just to get the car put together in less of a beat up state than it was the last time. Because I technically finished the blue car and it ran. It leaked oil, or it leaked some kind of fluid. It didn't work perfectly, but it technically ran. But man, did it look super beat up. Like I'd have to take care of all kinds of sewage issues and like suck up all kinds of poop just to even get my car looking to the point where it was recognizable. This is obviously not the right size spanner. I don't know why I keep trying it. Sure, 9 maybe? Let's try 9. I feel like I tried 10 already. I'm gonna use all of my remaining concentration to try and get these spindles put in place. We'll see how it goes. One of the jokes, I mean, it's such a stupid joke to make, with my friend who was homeschooled, I'll always ask him, like, I don't know, did you ever have a crush on any of the teachers? He thought it was funny 10 years ago. Yeah, I think she's getting to it. If I'm being honest, like, I don't know. It looks to me like, or seems to me as though Josie is very well spoken and grammatically correct, that sort of thing. So her comments tend to take kind of like a paragraph format, kind of. She is a proper Southern woman. I'll say Turkey Man. I don't know. I just feel like I have to say something, otherwise there's like some kind of weird monster that's going to crash through my window. I know you guys would hate to see that. Very cool. It was great. Got to travel a lot and used to do all my work in the back of the car driving across the country. Yeah, you are almost certainly part of what you would consider the United States would consider the Bible Belt, right? So there are certainly pressures to be, yeah, at least what you would. It's almost like Christian as a culture. I think that's what my part of my problem with religion is that Christianity is more of like what people see, or I mean, like what people are trying to say here. It's an image, and it's like, hey, I finally found it. Look at that, guys. And I think that's part of what I find annoying about organized religion is just that like it's supposed to be about an intimate relationship with a higher power, but it gets all muddled down with things like, yeah, but did you see what this person was wearing? And like I don't know, I don't think God has any time or consideration for like the kind of catty things that people inside of the church would be looking at. I'm not saying they're bad people. I think everyone, I don't know, has things in the plus and minus column, right? But just for me, all of that sort of thing was a distraction in church from like the overall, thing, which should be, I guess, your relationship with God and encouraging other people's relationship with God. Is the sun finally coming out? I wonder if I'm tired enough I can take a nap at this point. That would be magnifique. All right, let's try that real quick. I don't get to travel as much as I'd like to. That's another secret goal of this YouTube channel, is that I would like to have a level of acclaim where even if it's not something that would be profitable for me, maybe I would be offered to be able to travel some places around the country. And that would be super cool. Meeting new people, gaining new experiences, that sort of thing. I always feel like I'm at my best when I'm traveling to, or like just, I don't know, there's a certain uniqueness to being somewhere new, obviously. It keeps me novel. Otherwise, life can become stale. I don't want to actually screw those in yet, I don't think. I think I want to put these thingies in first. It's almost like that dude's nap he just took actually gave me greater focus in this game. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding again. Maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, I think I need to put these, what are they called? Yeah, the half shafts. These need to go in first. They might have needed to go on before the brakes did even. I'll probably find out that I did that wrong here in a moment. Maybe not. I did get the check mark there for a second. This game is so finicky though. Kid you not, I've been in college choir for 7 years. The only reason anyone has ever talked to me there was to ask me to go to their church group. That's kind of depressing, really. I mean, I don't know, like, I get that it would be a logical thing to talk to you about, but to just take a more personal interest would be kind of nice. Like, what do you do for fun? You could say, I watch people play really dumb games on the internet. No, I don't know. I'm sorry I don't get to travel, by the way, Turkey Man. I didn't mean to, like, neglect your comment. I just didn't really know what to say about it. You're also 14, so fortunately for you, there will become a time in your life when you're probably a little bit more formative of your decisions and get to decide for yourself what you're going to do. In that case, you just really can't be stopped, you know? Catch a boxcar? Am I from Boston all of a sudden? Catch a boxcar from one side of the country to the other, maybe. Although I don't know the first thing about Australia, so if you guys have trains or not is beyond me. I guess you could also probably just take a Greyhound bus if you guys have Greyhound buses. I don't think Christians are bad people, by the way. I should go on record of saying that. Like I just been surrounded by them most of my life. I think any group that you spend way too much time with, you see everything. Like, yeah, you have a full exposure. You have an entire gambit of experience with people. And just, I don't know, in any group of people, there are people who are really great and authentic and nice and kind, and there are people who are fake and just, like, generic and say all the same things and are just, I don't know, in a way cliche or uninspired and just not real to themselves. True to themselves, I guess. Wow, that was a real treat for all you streamers out there, streamies, viewers. You see that? I picked the right size spanner. like the first time. I'm impressed with myself, I'll say that. Alright, I'll be here, probably. It is... yeah, it's only like 3:40. I'll be playing this for a while. If anything, the stream will still be here. I might decide to play something else. Possibly as soon as I get these wheels screwed on, but... who knows? At this point, I'm like relatively close to getting the engine mounted, too. Alright, I think we can all agree that was a size 13 spanner. I'll get this other tire put on now. It's kind of funny, I didn't know who Jesus was till about age 11. My grandparents had to explain because I was confused about Christmas. Okay. Like, yeah, I do think that's a weird thing too, by the way, that, I don't know, Christians in general kind of indulge the idea of Santa Claus. And if you still believe in Santa Claus, so do I. He's completely real. But if you don't, then, like, I just think it's weird that, I don't know, you would focus on anything besides Jesus at, like, what is quintessentially the most Christian time of the year, I guess you could say. Like, the time when you would be celebrating your religion and the story of, like, your Savior's birth and that sort of thing, to acknowledge the existence of a possibly fake retired Catholic saint who used to, like, give toys to children. Like, that's cool, but it shouldn't probably take precedent over the more, you know, even culturally significant story relating to Christianity behind all of that. Alright, I think I can get rid of this jack for the time being now. Possibly for good. Which is cool. In the community of people who works on actual project cars like this is now what they would call a roller, or like a rolling chassis. It's just to say that it doesn't really have anything in it, but you could actually move the car. Which most cars are, I don't want to say light enough, but I guess that's what you'd have to say. Like, cars aren't light, obviously, but they would be movable enough that with just the frame and its chassis, you could probably just push it. So that's a part of this game that to me seemed almost probably inaccurate. No, I think people do this probably all the time. Like a car that's just got these basic foundational parts to it. You can actually roll them along. You're about to see maybe one of the dumbest parts of this game. Trying to roll this car on top of this hole. Unless I did it right the first time. Wow. I mean, I'm gonna toot my own horn, but mostly because I haven't installed it yet. Oh, don't mess this up now. You did it, and then now you're gonna drop the car in. Alright, I'm gonna get it more towards the center over here. Okay, cool. Let's see what that looks like for a second. It's not super professional looking. You have one of those rolling chassis. Ah, your grandpa likes cars. Awesome. Well, there you go. You just stand on it while your brother lifted it. Very cool. So you know more about cars than perhaps probably me. I don't know. The only thing I know about cars comes from basically this game. I think this game and Car Mechanic Simulator 18 or whatever, two games that I've spent probably too much time playing. Like, they have me at least thinking of the idea it would be fun to put an old classic car together at some point. But then I also know that none of this stuff outside of the context of a video game is really that much fun. It's mostly a lot of hard work. And any veteran player of this game, by the way, would absolutely tell you at this point that it's complete and utter folly that I'm not just leaving a beer case on the floor and then dropping the engine on top of that, because apparently it's like the exact perfect height that if you were to do that, like, it makes this process a lot easier. But I don't know. I'm just gonna do this the mild Kratz way, I guess. I'm trying to think about like fun or different ways of potentially merchandising my channel. Not that I need to make like a bunch of money off of it or whatever. I'm probably not really to that point either, but I just think merchandise is kind of fun. And I'd probably end up honestly buying some of my own stuff. So I'm just trying to think of like different designs or fun things. I also don't want to like force it either. Just, like, if I have any catchphrases or whatever. I'm probably not aware of most of the ones that I would have. Before most of my videos, I used to say, "Let's get mild," which is kind of fun. Obviously, it's quite the opposite of getting wild. I mean, honestly, my name for my channel is actually a play on, or it's a pun on the name Wild Kratz. Does anyone out there know who the Wild Kratz are? It's such a dumb, like, reference that I thought more people would be aware of, and I don't think they are. Which in a way is fun, because I could as myself, Mild Kratz, potentially be more popular than the Wild Kratz. Okay. Hopefully I didn't mess that up too bad. Make some very, crap. Make some very minute adjustments, but that's definitely not what just happened there. I think I made some very drastic adjustments. You guys, some very clever people out in the audience. I'm gonna give you guys a few more seconds to maybe like let me know if you guys know who the Wild Kratz are. So it's probably something. It's probably an entertainment option you guys have. Well, you would probably have in Texas at least. I don't know about probably in Australia. Although they've probably visited Australia. Ugh. Ow. Sometimes worry about my own caffeine dependence. I definitely feel like, I don't know, if I go too long without caffeine, I get a headache, which probably is not a great sign. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely worse things to be addicted to than caffeine. But it'd be, you know, better to live kind of a more natural life cycle that is in keeping with traditional circadian rhythms, probably. Hey, that'd be awesome. I would take my first piece of fan art for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to fill this channel out with any kind of like fan art or whatever. I love that sort of thing. So absolutely, if you want to, you can send it to me at my Facebook page, which I think is listed probably down in the description, or you can probably do. I don't know what file formats are supported based on like the messaging in YouTube. If you can send it to me that way, that's cool as well. Or I don't think I have this listed down there, but mildkratz@gmail.com is very simply the place you can reach me via email. This is the part where I'm telling you, Turkey Man's gonna tell me I messed up here because I should have just put a case of beer on the ground and mounted the engine that way. Because he's a consummate professional and I'm not. That's okay. He still tunes in to watch me, and I appreciate that. I think this just has to be a very frustrating game for people to watch if they know how to play it, because I don't know, there's just so many like little tips and tricks that you should be doing, and when people don't do them, it's kind of frustrating, probably. But I don't know, I don't actually watch other streams of this game. More commonly streaming it for myself. Alright, just need to come back a little bit and I should probably be good. Yeah, the engine's fine. Cool. Well, I don't know. I think you were the one who was reading some of the patch notes the most recent patch notes. I feel like they also made it so that you kind of almost have to use the engine hoist now in order to get the engine dropped into the car. Like, I don't know how far specifically it's supposed to go down, but I'm sure that, like, it's got to be lower than where the hood would be, so I'm guessing I'm a few cranks away still. This is very accurate to real life, by the way. I don't know if you guys ever do this thing where, like, art does tend to be on paper. Yeah, it'd be cool if you could do it digitally. I would say a cool, fun program you could be working with. It's all open source. It's very similar to like Photoshop. You can but also kind of like Adobe Illustrator. There's a program called GIMP 2.8, and it's an open source software. I forget what it stands for. Graphical something something something. But it's pretty cool. I think it interfaces with most bamboo tablets or whatever and that sort of thing. But also it's just got more interesting brushes and stuff and like better tools than say like Microsoft Paint or whatever. So that'd be my recommendation. That's what I use to make a lot of my thumbnails, which most of my thumbnails are just me taking a picture of myself, cutting myself out, putting myself back in kind of a dumb scenario or something. Hey, the bolt's there, good. I think that's the bolt I need to be there. I also don't remember what size it is. I think it's 14. Let's try that. Well, I can tell you for certain it's not 7 or whatever I had. I'm trying to advertise. There's a guy on YouTube called GTRFan81. He does streams in this game, and I'd really like if you subscribed. Yeah, is he the guy who does... He might be the guy who's like legitimately from Finland, right? And he's done like a crazy amount of videos on this game. I'll for sure check him out. I don't know. I subscribe to a lot of content creators. If for no other reason, it'd be fun to do like a collaboration at some point. I mean, I know this game's not multiplayer, so I don't know what that would entail, doing a collaboration on this game. But I don't know. I've been fighting it most of my life, and I've been calling it probably social anxiety, but really, I'm a pretty social person. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that based on the fact that I've been rambling to everyone for going on 2 hours now, so I'm not afraid of talking to people. He is Australian. You're fine. Yeah, you are not a disgrace to your country. You don't need to perform Harry Carey or anything. It's all good. And I'm not picky about my fan art, by the way, Josie. I mean, I would take something on, like a photo of something that was on paper too. I don't care. The fact that people care about the things I do is kind of among the better reasons to do a YouTube channel. Not that I need like pointless self-validation or whatever. I think I know that people generally like me. I don't know, it's just a nice thing, right? And who knows, maybe I'll send you an entire VCR. It's almost 3 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, I think I see where you're going with this. And I don't blame you. You know, for me, it's nearly 4 o'clock here. But the difference is that I'm probably going to go to bed sometime around 6 o'clock. Maybe who even knows when. And wake up probably at like 2 in the afternoon. So, yeah, I do not envy you. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, you're awesome. Pulling all-nighter. That's bad advice. I've as much as I'd love for you to hang around. Being the age that I am now, I recognize that as being at any age probably not the best advice. If you really want to do all-nighters, you'll have all kinds of opportunity to do that in college too. So just do your thing. I'm glad you were here. I'm sure I'll see you in a future stream. Look forward to seeing that fan art, by the way. What size bolt is this? I'm so tired of guessing. But I'm also so lazy and don't want to look it up. I don't know. I was an insomniac too, by the way, like as a kid, and probably around your age. That's probably like when I established my long-standing record of, I think the longest I've ever been awake is about 72 hours. I do not recommend it. And actually, I can't even verify that that's how long I was up, because after about 30 hours, I think your conception of time and everything starts to slip away a little bit. I think honestly, after a certain length of time, you're considered to be drunk, kind of like the equivalent of having 1 or 2 drinks. I don't know what size wrench this is. Is it the biggest one? Is it 15? Did I already try 15? I'm so far gone right now. Just tired. Yeah. Hey, thanks for hanging in here, Josie. I will see you soon. I'm sure of it. I'm glad you like hearing me ramble too, because I don't know, it's all I know how to do, so. Yep, stay sweet, get some sleep, alright? Turkey, I mean, I see that bolt in there. I'm doing the right thing, right? Like, what's happening? What am I doing wrong here? Am I just missing the size spanner? Is it like something stupidly small or whatever? Like an unexpectedly small bolt or something, like a size 9 or I don't know. I thought it was a size 12. I thought I tried a size 12 more than a few times. I was pretty sure it was something between size 12 and 15. But like the more I try and do this, or is it just like not there? I don't know. It's kind of not perfectly lined up, but I also don't think it makes you get it perfectly lined up either. I guess I'll try moving the engine. It's probably a mistake, but that's okay. We'll try it. Because getting this engine mounted will be... will feel like progress, I think. The car shook. Maybe that's a good sign. Yeah. Oh no, I think it's like way more off than it used to be. Like dropped 6 feet and went the wrong way. Yeah, this needs to come back a lot. I messed up. Nothing, just try to do the front ones first. It's the best advice. I gotcha. Okay, there's like 3 bolts that basically hold this thing in place, right? Let's try pulling this back. Maybe 2 shakes there. Oh, goodness. I like this game, but I think too much of it at once can be so frustrating. I'm trying to remember where the 2 are that are in the front, too. Aren't they kind of like in the front, but also on the side? I so don't remember. I'm gonna die of thirst also, so maybe I should go drink something. A really embarrassing thing to die of dehydration now, since I haven't saved the game since this stream started. Alright, cool. But I'm determined I need to get this engine mounted tonight, so that needs to happen. I'm gonna try my best to make that a thing. Alright, let's pull this back the smallest of small amounts I can do and see if that worked. Nope. Or yeah, there we go. Oh, come on. I hope you saw that as clear as day on the stream like I just did, but the bolt was literally there and then just vanished. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. There's none on the side. Okay, so yeah, it's the one in the back there, and there's like 2 in the front on either side of like, this like front part of the subframe, I think. But, okay. Alright, let's try this again. This is just proof life is pain, but nothing lasts forever. Okay, the bolt is there. We can verify. The bolt is there. Come on, my dude. Do you remember what size this game hates you? To be fair, I think this game hates everyone. I think that's kind of like the joke. But it's the most accurate simulation, I'll say, of putting a car together, probably, because I don't think any part of building a car besides being done with it and driving it is probably fun. I think it's a cool thing that I think a lot of people probably like to do, because there are so few things in life that like you get to do and you see noticeable, recognizable progress on, right? It's like the opposite of, say, like losing weight, right? Like losing weight takes forever, and you don't notice the changes until you're like, oh, this shirt fits kind of nice. Or this shirt fits better than it used to. What size spanners have I even tried at this point? I don't remember. Let's try a 10, maybe. I don't know. This game just makes me feel like it has been. It was like I could have been somebody. I used to be somebody. I don't really think I'm supposed to screw these in either until I have like the engine mounted either. So I'm just gonna not do that. Where are the ones in the front? Right there and right there. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna take a look at the old Wikipedia page real quick. You can browse through my Steam games, I guess. See if there's one out there you'd like me to stream at some point. If you can see it that well. I don't remember what. I think I'm broadcasting probably only in 720p. I think I'm downscaling. I might not need to. I might change that in the future. All right. Okay, for motor mounts, 3 times 11 millimeter. Okay, cool. 11 millimeter. So I think I've got the 10 right now. Alright, let's not tempt the gods, or the fates, or whatever you want to call it, the powers that be in my summer car into making them move the car and thus making me move the mounts again. Aha! Alright, brilliant. Probably should have taken your advice on like, do the ones in the front first, but I think it's gonna work out fine. Very good. Cool. Oh, awesome. Motor is mounted. What a great feeling, by the way. Like, finally. Feels like undeniable proof of progress through this game. It's okay. Honestly, I think people like to listen to me ramble, so maybe they'll enjoy the fact that I took literally like 5 hours to put together the car, which could be done in probably less than 2. I did, yes. I did finally get the engine in. Proof that determination and hard work does at some point pay off. It's always darkest before dawn is the expression. Not that I like expressions particularly, but yeah. Alright. Okay, cool. I have conquered that mountain, and I can now safely move on. I think actually, yeah, these back here might be... It's probably my best opportunity to reach these back here in the trunk. But as to what size those are, who has any idea? Let's try maybe an 8 or a 9. Oh, well, I'm glad I went down there and saw that, because that doesn't look very secure. I also don't know... Oh, there's the shock absorbers. Probably a decent place for me to be would be down here in order to put those in. Maybe not. I don't know. There's so many parts of the suspension that are kind of difficult to reach. Let's try... maybe I didn't have a size 10. I thought I did. No, that's right. I had a size 11. Size 10 seems to be like one of the more common bolt sizes for a lot of this stuff. Whew. This is more interesting than any other stream. Man, I feel bad. Like, if I'm really the cream of the crap, like, that's pretty funny. But I'm glad you think so, man. I don't know. It is helpful to have people to, like, fuel some of the discussion. Doing a stream where there's no one in the chat is such a nightmare. I mean, I've had to do it a few times, by the way, but, like, it's the most difficult thing. And unfortunately, that's almost exclusively what you have when you're starting out. Like, if no one knows who you are, no one's really paying attention, no one's watching your stream. But, like, that's where everyone starts, and it's so painful. You just have to talk against yourself. So, I mean, I guess I would get it in a way if I'm one of the better ones, because I don't have a fear of saying something particularly stupid or just talking to myself. I'm still trying to think of a more interesting game, though. I think everyone wants me to play one of the Arkham games again. It's like, I don't know. Everyone back when I was doing all the Batman-related content was pretty, like, big into my stream of Arkham Asylum, which to me, I was like, this is painfully boring. And for me to not know what I'm doing in this game, it's kind of it's almost kind of the joke, right? But, like, I hadn't played through Arkham Asylum in such a long time. I had less than no idea what I was doing. And that's a game that's just frustrating to watch people not know how to play. Let's try 7. Maybe I haven't tried that one yet. Gosh. Guess while I'm over here, I might as well be trying these too, right? Oh. Your internet. No. Yeah, you're right. Like, I definitely see people, like, dipping out and then back into the stream periodically, so I was curious if that's what it was or not. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this bolt chart for a second. Alright, 2 times 6, 1 times 12. Okay, so those ones in the bottom here at least are 6. Try maybe getting that screwed in. There we go. Sweet. That is technically progress. That's the one on the one side. Where's the other? There it is. Oh my goodness. I was kind of surprised I did streams. Maybe it's just because I didn't have that many subscribers yet or whatever. But, like, I went basically from playing this game to playing Car Mechanic Simulator 18, and there was basically no carryover. Like, nobody was like, well, you know, I think I'll check. I didn't put the other shock absorber in? What am I doing with my life? It's a steering rack. Where is it? Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Alright, so I'm probably going to have to take the wheel off, would be my guess. Even, oh no, it gave me a check mark. Whatever merciful Finnish god is going to allow me to put this shock absorber in after the tire's already on is among my new favorite deities, perhaps. But if that is truly a thing. I mean, you guys all saw it as much as I did. There was definitely a check mark for a second, a split second. Come on, let me cheese it. Come on. Who's a good car? Huh? Who's a good car? Squeeze this in here. Ay, ay, ay. Well, things are about to get a little bit teetery, I think, for a second. This wheel is coming off. Are you ready to watch something truly stupid happen? I have a feeling it's coming. This is a bad idea. I'm going to go on record of saying that now. What am I going to play with subs? When I find the right game, I think. There's a few different games I have that are either like free to play or so cheap they may as well be, that I would love to play with subs. And among them, you might even be able to like check it out right now. I don't know if you have even $1 to your name or not, and maybe I could just gift it to you if you sent me an email. All right, go ahead and send me a message on Facebook Messenger as to like the email maybe that's connected with your Steam account, and maybe I'll just buy this game for you. But there's a game called Guns of Icarus. I think that would be a really fun game to play with subs, because it's highly team-based, and so it would require us all to cooperate with one another, which famously the internet is not a great place for. But I think it'd be a good time. If you want, you can take a look at the Steam store page for it real quick and give me an idea of what you think. I'm trying to do it as kind of like a YouTube collab thing anyway. I think some different YouTube people could definitely play it. I mean, you do whatever you want, man. I'm not your boss. I appreciate any enthusiasm towards my channel. Like, there's definitely a donate button out there if you want to do that. Cool. If you admire, you know, my streaming talents, if you appreciate my company, great. But I don't even know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's mostly just another interaction kind of thing too. Oh, come on. You know what? Like, you've already done the thing I'm hoping people will do at some point, which is like you've donated some awareness. Like the fact that you shared my channel on Facebook even was like kind of a cool thing. Am I putting this in? No, I'm not putting it in upside down or anything. It's just not really. All right, whatever. Just leave it in the car for right now. I feel like I was trying to put in the shock absorbers and then I just got distracted again. There we go. Let's try this once more. La da da. What size? Obviously the wrong one. Okay. Oh yeah, I still have the size 13, I think. But the wheel seems pretty securely screwed on there. Yeah, Guns of Icarus is a cool game though. I guess if you're, I don't know if you're looking it up or not. If you aren't, it's basically, the game I'm most excited about now is called Sea of Thieves. It's very like team-based, pirate, kind of like whatever. This is similar to that, but instead you're all in an airship, and there are some distinct roles players have to play. Like one person is the captain who just pilots the ship. There is traditionally 2 engineers on the ship that basically keep all the core systems running as the other teams are attacking them. And then there's like a gunner or assault person or whatever, and the gunner has very specific types of ammo and can reload the guns faster and stuff. But it's basically airship to airship combat, and I think it's just like super cool and inspired and fun. And I think too, another good reason maybe it'd be fun to play with subs and a good game to play with subs would be that the community, unfortunately, is kind of like, I don't know that it's dying, but like interest is kind of waning in the game. So if we brought our own force of people to play the game along with us, maybe you could see a slight resurgence in the game's popularity. And I think it's a game that deserves more notoriety than it has, and it's super fun. Like, I don't know, and like the player community is so encouraging and positive, and I've never had a bad experience there. So I think that'd be another reason why it'd be super cool to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to like talk to other YouTubers and stuff that I periodically. Like, I watch YouTube streams as much as anyone else, and especially people who've helped me out. I think people who've rated my channel and offered, you know, like basically their community to be my community as well. Like, I owe some people a little bit for that sort of thing. But like, I've bought the game for a couple different YouTubers and stuff. Yes. No, the game is not expensive, by the way. Like, right now, I think it might actually be on sale, and it's ordinarily like $5. So I'm spending like $1.25. So don't feel like you're absolutely bankrupting this poor unfortunate soul. Like, it's not going to cost me much to give you a copy of the game, and I would be glad for you to have it. I just think you'd think it's cool too, potentially, especially if you're into, like, I don't know, the simulation kind of genre or whatever. It's like simulation deathmatch, like be the engineer or captain of an airship. It's a very fun premise. And it's something for me to do until Sea of Thieves comes out. And then this channel in general will probably just turn into like a Sea of Thieves, like, round-the-clock stream. It's not necessarily... I don't know. That's in an ideal world where people really care about me pretending to be a pirate all day. I don't know why I'm rolling this out of the garage, because I feel like some of the components left are more easily probably installed inside the garage. But I also feel like the car is in pretty good repair right now, which doesn't happen to me very often. So... let me see here. Cool. Let me put on the trunk here. Oh, goodness. Trunk. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to build some more fan interaction stuff anyway. Like, I kind of pal around with some different YouTubers who play 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. And, you know, cool. The crafting survival thing, I played 7 Days to Die probably 80 hours before anyone else really cared about it that much. And for me, once I've seen everything that's in a game, I'm kind of good for a while, you know? So there've probably been significant updates to the game since I've played it. But I don't know. Like, I haven't been back to check on that one specifically. But it seems to be like a lot of what people are streaming these days. I didn't hate the game. I obviously played it quite a while, but I don't know. I unfortunately feel the repetitiveness of games may be faster than some other people do. You see. Trying to determine when the stream will be over, or when I think this might be the end of the My Summer Car stream. I might try and like figure out what I want to play next. So I don't know. I don't know what your schedule is out there, Turkey Man. If you're willing to follow me to a different game, then who knows? Maybe I'll play something else. I wish I could get the steering column in so I could like straighten out these tires. Maybe if I push them. It looks like if I push them, it kind of straightens them out too, though. I just feel like I've made decent enough progress in this game right now, and like I don't feel like particularly addressing all of my guys' needs. Maybe I will. Maybe that'll be the last thing I do here before I end My Summer Car. I at least need to save the game. I don't think I've saved the game since I started playing probably 2.5 hours ago. My guy needs a cigarette. About to die from stress. Have a heart attack or something. Alright. Once again, I don't condone smoking. I don't really believe that it's, you know, a legitimate means by which to reduce your stress. But in this game, it seems to be, and I don't really have much of a choice. Well, smoking is so expensive, man. I don't know. I just you won't see me doing it if for no other reason than that. I can't afford it. It's a rich person's addiction. I'll just stick to like candy or whatever. It's kind of annoying that you have to finish the cigarette, by the way. I don't know, like, my stress is now gone, but unless I finish the cigarette, there are certain things I can't do. Apparently, like, the cheap cheap finish part of me won't throw away any part of a cigarette but the butt. Alright, there we go. Cool. And take a shower real quick, I suppose. Wish I could brush my teeth now that I'm like a smoker, but oh well. Okay, yeah, CSS is in HTML programming talk, cascading style sheets. It goes along with HTML. HTML is basically like the engine that runs websites, and then cascading style sheets are what makes them fancy. So, there you go. Stick around here long enough, you're going to learn a few things. I'm not going to teach you how to build websites, because I don't really know how to do that. There was a time at which I knew better how to do that sort of thing. But, I don't know, like, I've managed a few WordPress sites. That's about all my interest is anymore. Whoops, I don't need a shower. I need to drink something. There we go. Okay, just doing a little maintenance here so that the next time I stream, everything will be great. Except, oh look, the sun's maybe even going down. I might actually wake up at a reasonable hour next time in order to finish working on the car. I can't really think. I've got to fill the car with fluids at this point, obviously, right? I need gas. I don't think I bought any brake and clutch fluid, which is a rookie mistake. I don't think I bought any oil yet. I wasn't really sure that in this stream I would get all the way to putting the car completely together, but once you start playing this game, it's kind of a bit of a rabbit hole. Oh, ball field. That looks a lot like a character we have in America named Garfield. Quite strikingly similar. My mom is actually from Fairmount, Indiana. That's the home, for those of you not in the know, that's the home of Garfield, and Garfield creator Jim Davis and iconic cool person James Dean. Those are like the two things you need to know about Fairmount, Indiana. Aside from the birthplace of my mother, it's one of the coolest places in the world for those two reasons. So, I'm trying to determine now what I want to do. Because I think I'm done playing this game for tonight. I will absolutely come back and probably play it tomorrow. Also, what is this, oh, music, no music. I was like, what does the smiley face do? I feel like I knew that at one point, and then I suddenly didn't. So, you might see the stream go down for a few minutes here. I'm anticipating playing something else, so maybe stick around for a few minutes. Might do some like maintenance type things real quick too, but I would expect to see me start streaming something else in about the next 10 minutes, because as best I'm aware, I am the hardest working man in all of YouTube. I've been Milo Kratz. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment, subscribe any of my videos. Helps me out, keeps me motivated, that sort of thing. Or if you're just tuning in, I appreciate you being here to view all of this beauty. Anyway. Cool. Those are the silly things I'm going to say for tonight, and then you'll have to come back next time to see what they'll be next time.